Welcome,
Got it.
everyone. Welcome. We are here today for the New Jersey Film Festival Filmmaker Q&A. Today I have two wonderful animators, and we're going to be talking about their two short films that will be taking place as part of the Fall 2021 New Jersey Film Festival, which is our 40th anniversary. Yay! We are 40 years old. I've been running this program since 1982, and this will be the 40th version. And it's a biannual festival, so there'll be a spring component that will take place in January and February. The fall festival will take place between September 10th and October 10th on Fridays and Sundays, and they will be available online as well as live. Fingers crossed that the live screenings will take place. We're recording this in August, so we're not sure what the future holds, but we will have reduced capacity availability at our state-of-the-art facility in Voorhees Hall, room 105, which is located on the beautiful campus of Rutgers University in New Brunswick, New Jersey, at 71 Hamilton Street. People will have to wear face coverings to attend the live screening. And if you don't want to come to the live one, don't worry. We will have the films available for 24 hours on their show dates via Eventive, which is our online streaming service. So you can watch the movies online. And if you really love them, then you can run down and watch the movies when they're screened at 7 p.m. Each program will be screened at 7 p.m. And you can see them on our big screen at Voorhees. Anyway, today we have Sam Chegini, who's here all the way from Iran. He's actually a festival alumnus. We screened his previous animation, Fallen Angel, which is a wonderful music video, and he's back with the one on Jethro Tull's Aqualung, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary. And we'll be sharing with you an intro that Ian Anderson did. We're very proud and privileged to be able to do that. Thanks for arranging that, Sam. And we also have Richard Lopez, whose wonderful film Invention in C Major is a stop motion animation that we'll be screening. The films will actually be screening on separate dates, and I'll mention exactly when and where at the end of our Q&A. But if you want information about our festival, you can go to njfilmfest.com and just click on where it says Fall 2021 schedule. And then you'll have to click again to get to our Eventive site for all the nitty gritty and how to buy tickets and things like that. But welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. I guess, Sam, since you're our alumnus, you get to go first. Tell us how you were able to line up doing this great music video, a kind of updating of Ian Anderson's song that he did for Jethro Tull, Aqualung.
Yes, well, it's been really an honor for me. I mean, at the moment I received the email from Warner Music Group, they told me that they wanted to do something special for the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the album Jethro Tull Aqualung. So it's been really special and surreal for me to actually get the opportunity to work on this legendary song. And yes, I remember that they wanted a new approach toward the song. It's not, didn't want to, you know, they didn't want to, wanted the music video to be what it was in like, you know, 1971, but a new look to it. So they suggested some concepts like, you know, adding the refugees and, you know, add other aspects to the, you know, song Aqualung. So I wrote the script based on the lyrics. And what is really, you know, challenging with working on a song, you know, with a history like this, it's, you know, extra weight on your shoulders as a director to, you know, really satisfy everybody who has, you know, built an image for the song before. So it's like a very, you know, a difficult task to do. So that was really a challenge for me.
Awesome, Sam. Richard, you were able to get to look at Sam's film. What were some of your...
I lost you there for a moment.
No problem. Richard's going to give us his feedback because I was able to share each filmmaker's other work so they could talk about their own the other person's work as well and not be kind of left out. So what were you familiar with the song beforehand?
I actually wasn't, which is interesting. But I have heard some of their other songs, their more popular songs. But yeah, no, it was really like I loved the style, the graphic style that you had going, and it was very engaging. And I'm really into like music videos these day and age, and so I've been wanting to do music videos myself, like animated music videos. So it was just cool to see the different transitions and like the different kinds of effects you have there. So I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
There is really a connection between your two films since they both have music
Yeah.
as a kind of underpinning. And Richard's film is a stop motion animation that I guess was part of your. It was a film for school, right?
Yeah. It was it started off as a thesis project, so I had a whole year to kind of put this thing together. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Where do you go to school, or where did you go to school?
I went to Parsons in Manhattan. Yeah. So yeah, and it kind of started off as like a collaboration with a musician. That's kind of how the idea just came to fruition. So yeah, it's interesting that the music again plays a role.
Well, tell us a little bit about your film too.
Yeah. So again, it started off as this collaboration with a musician of mine, and I kind of came up with this visual of this like gramophone machine woman, and from there I kind of just started developing this story. And I tend to like go overboard on making stories, so it ended up being a very like long story in my head, but I had a year to kind of like pull it off, so I had to like just cut things down and like just try to get the best that I could. And by the time my thesis ended, I had like this project that was kind of rough and a little not to my standard, but I had to like submit it because it was a school project. And then I had a chance to kind of revisit it more recently and rescore it and re-edit it and finally like make it presentable. So
it's really quite beautiful. It reminded me a little bit of the Brothers Quay animation films, and I think you really did a great job with the stop motion. It's basically like a puppet animation, right? Because you have to manipulate frame by frame.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
And Sam's film is much different. Sam, tell us about your film. How is your animation different from Richard's?
Actually, I tell you what, it's really amazing. The moment I watched your animation, it's really, interesting to tell you that my first approach for making Aqualung was a stop motion and puppet animation. So if I knew you earlier, I'm sure we would have worked together. So yeah, it's been really amazing to watch you film. And I really wanted to do this with stop motion technique and puppets at first. But because of the lack of time, we were, really tight on the schedule to make the video for the occasion of the 50th anniversary. So we were really, tight on the schedule. And so I had done a music video for Sarah Lenny Henry. It was The Cops Don't Know. It had this comic vibe to it, comic motion. And the previous animation that I did was for The Trouble with Angels for Jacko Jack Check, and it contains, rotoscope animation. I wanted to do, a combination of these both animations for Jethro Tull's Aqualung. I thought that it could be, a good, engine to, move forward with the story, to just, illustrate the song. And I started listening to the song over and over again, and started to sketch a bit on the storyboard. And I wanted everything to be exact, like we could see what's going on, because I was working with a major label, Warner Music, and they wanted, how it works with major labels. They want to make sure that everything is going smoothly, like they can almost see the finished product. So I got to meet Hassan Nozadian, a wonderful concept artist who read the script, and he was a big-time Jethro Tull fan himself. So it all came together. It was really wonderful. And we had a number of Skype calls, and we talked about the concept. I had sent the concept to Ian, and we changed a little bit parts of that concept in the script, and sent it back to Warner and got the confirmations about the whole new approach to the homelessness issues, like adding the refugees and other aspects to the homeless issue. And we came up with an updated look for the song. It's not the 1971 concept anymore. It's like I saw this as like every character in this music video is Aqualung to me. So that was the kind of approach.
And so you used the rotoscope technique again for this film. And were you able to,
that's right,
the sequences with Ian Anderson, because he's in the film, playing chess or strumming along on the guitar. Was that something that you shot through the internet, used the internet to kind of create that?
It's actually, a funny story. We wanted to shoot these scenes, and the part with the chessboard is my favorite, really. I wanted to keep this in the script. And the problem was that Ian was out of town. He was, I think, in a village recording for the new Jethro Tull album. So he did not have access to a chessboard. And we wanted to keep this really in the script, and I didn't want to lose it. So I discussed it with Warner Music, and they they kindly suggested that they can purchase a chessboard for Ian, and they sent it via Amazon. But again, it took such a long time, so to keep this part of the script, it was really difficult. So finally, Ian's son, his manager also, got to get his chessboard to Ian, and we finally could shoot this.
That's a great story.
So yeah, Ian shot the scenes himself. He really it was really patient with the scenes. I really appreciate him for it's a big part of these collaborations is because of the presence of the artist and these appearance of him as the chess player here in between the clouds. So it adds a lot. I didn't really want to lose that.
Everybody, when I was growing up, see, it was a really, it's a classic album for people growing up in the 70s, like I was, and everybody always thought that the fellow on the cover was Ian Anderson, because he used to dress the way that you see Aqualung on the cover of the album. So that there is that connection right from the get-go. But I wanted to ask Richard also, since your film also deals with a musician that is caught in the machine. I guess that is the basic premise for your film.
Right.
And tell us
I love
about
that idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's really wonderful. And the way that we get the sense that we're in this hermetic space, right?
Yeah.
And this person, this artist is kind of trapped as well. Tell us about the process and how you made this film.
Yeah. Man, that's yeah, I mean, with stop motion, it's just, again, the whole idea is, again, like you said, I like to keep things pretty vague in general. I like open interpretation. I'm a big like David Lynch fan, so I like kind of how people interpret things, but it definitely has like a concrete story of, again, this performer that's stuck in this machine. And it's kind of, I had this kind of like theme of being like objectified or being turned into a machine. And I mean, the story, I mean, there's more to the story, but I don't like to give that away. I kind of like
please don't.
I like people to just pull from it and see kind of what they envision. But yeah, I basically did it. I was living in my parents' like attic space, and it was actually like an interesting place to shoot because it was very, I felt like very in a very tight space, and I felt a little bit like claustrophobic and like enclosed. So it kind of put me in that kind of mindset.
Well, you know,
Oh.
I think as artists, you know, and I definitely see the David Lynch in there. I teach a class on David Lynch,
Oh yeah.
and the space is a little bit like the Red Room in Twin Peaks. You know,
Yeah.
we've got this dream space, and I think both films have this kind of oniric or dreamlike quality to them, where we cycle inside the mind of a troubled individual, and I think both films are really quite wonderful. But I wanted to share screen so folks could find out how to watch and when they're taking place. So bear with me for 1 second. All right, folks. So this is our website. You know, the sign that fell off a second ago, njfilmfest.com is where you go normally to get information. And this is our homepage. And then you would click on this section here where it says Fall 2021 schedule, which would take you to this page. And normally everything would be here. You would scroll down and you would be able to click on stuff. But because we are partnered with Eventive, I use their website as the primary location. So you click on any of these blue links, you just get basic information on our normal festival page. And this will open up to the catalog page for the festival. And there will be all sorts of places where you can see the movies that we will be screening. And we have on September 19th, if I can click on this quickly enough so it'll open up. And that this, in fact, Invention in C is playing with a number of other short films as well as a feature that deals with a performance artist. I don't know why it's not clicking for me, but I will click on it another place. And Aqualung is actually playing with the Dirt Whisperer. I don't know, dirt was the main theme since Aqualung is a very dirty guy, a homeless guy. And the Dirt Whisperer is about a farmer who's trying to move away from his corporate life so where he can feed himself and become like a homesteader. Let's see if this one will click on for us. We can see if it's working. Everything is frozen. All right, well, we'll go back to the festival site. The catalog page is where you buy tickets, and that's the ticket page. If you wanted to see the schedule in a linear way, you would just scroll down and you will see, let's see if we can, there's Invention in C coming down very slowly on my computer. And this is a nice shot, so you get that David Lynch feel right there, very nice. I mean, I get the sense that this scene is, your imagery is not that big, right? You're dealing not shoebox size, but maybe a little bit larger. And your film is playing as the opening film on September 19th, playing with Vaz Papanayu's Parentheses, Lucid Dreams by Konstantin Mashenko, and The New Blockheads as a Private Case by Lana Berndell. She's from Austria. All of these films deal with art in one way, shape, or form. And then if you keep scrolling down, you can see all the other wonderful films. And here's an image from Sam's Jethro Tull Aqualung film, which is kind of reminds you of the classic album cover that we have there. So you can check out everything that's on our website by going to click on all the buttons. The tickets is where you get the tickets, right? You click on one of these. And so if you wanted to get tickets for Sam's movie, you hit pre-order now, right? And oh, well, now it came up. And Invention in C has all of the different information. Here's another picture from the image. And Alfie Alvarez does a great job as the composer, right? We forgot to give him credit. Back to the festival site brings you to the homepage. You can buy a all access pass for $100. Each program is $15, which is a little more expensive than normal. But because we got really clobbered by the pandemic, we lost like $10,000. So we're desperately trying to make up the shortfall. Just, we're okay, but we can't do another one of those. We can't have another cycle like the last one because it'll really kill us. So we're asking folks to help us financially. and it seems we're selling tickets, and so far so good, and hopefully that'll be the case. But I want to thank you both for being part of our Q&A, and I look forward to seeing your film on the big screen, hopefully, or on the internet. Thank you so much for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you.